Bad news for Vasiliy Lomachenko coming off a loss to Teofimo. Shakur Stevenson wants that work if he's coming back down to 130, which his manager says he might. What up, Fight World? It's your boy Ego, and I'm back with some more boxing. Make sure you guys smash the like button for the latest and greatest. Now, let me get you guys caught up to speed with what's going on. So Teofimo and his pops, Teofimo Lopez Sr., they were at the Canelo fight. Canelo destroyed Caleb Smith. Teofimo Sr., you can see in this interview, it says Teofimo Sr. goes in on Gervonta Davis and calls him a disgrace. And he also talked about Devin Haney. And he says Lomachenko would beat Shakur Stevenson. Shakur Stevenson obviously heard that and disagrees. And Shakur Stevenson took to his social feed and let's see what he had to say. 34 minutes ago, Shakur Stevenson says, y'all need to stop interviewing that drunk ass man. He drunk as F in every interview, and y'all keep putting the camera in his face, crying emoji, right? And people asked for him to clarify who he was talking about, and he says Lopez Sr. So I seen this tweet, but now it's been made clear who he was referring to. Now, regarding Lomachenko just fought Teofimo's son in October, and he lost. He really didn't do much for the first 6 rounds. It wasn't a great performance. All that Lomachenko has been built up to be. You would expect more from Lomachenko. Now, Lomachenko, his very own manager, has stated that Lomachenko could go down in weight, right? And ESPN, they have the actual quote. Maybe he goes back down to 130 regarding Lomachenko. If we can get a good fight at 135 pounds, Loma would like to stay at 135. If there is no good fight at 135, then we will move to 130 pounds. At 130 and 135, there are big names and good fights, so there are very good possibilities. That's Lomachenko's manager, Aegis Clemens, on the possibility of him moving down in weight. So it's ironic that you have a fighter with the complexion for the protection and he loses and they're asking him to move down. Now, you see Shakur Stevenson's right there in the comment section, and he put the, like, okay, like you be coming back down. If you come back down to 130, you in my division now. The two have sparred in the past, but again, it's ironic that you have a fighter like Lomachenko who gets billed as, you know, this invincible character, the high tech and the Matrix and all this stuff. And as soon as he loses, then people are begging and imploring him to go back down in weight. As far as I'm concerned, the walls are closing in on Vasiliy Lomachenko. He's no longer the franchise champion. His last performance wasn't good. He said some things post-fight that really weren't, it didn't make him look good, we'll say. You know, he's saying that his shoulder was messed up. You know, people don't really like excuses when it comes to the sport of boxing. And even deeper than that, he has baseless comments where he has accused somebody, he didn't really say who, but he's accused somebody of actually fixing the fight or having it out to get like against him. He won't specify who he's referring to. So Lomachenko, from my view, he's caught in between a rock and a hard spot, rock and a hard place. Because Shakur Stevenson just says, if Loma is at 130, F a belt. Next fight, we can do that next. I'm with it. And if y'all really feel that the weight was an issue and the fans calling for this fight, let's do it. Handshake. He's like, let's shake on it. And he tagged his promoter, Top Rank. I doubt this fight happens next. Cameron Duncan recently came out with an interview and said that Top Rank Matchmaker has an NBF no black fighter list. And Shakur Stevenson is a great talent. I would love to see this fight. But Devin Haney was another, you know, African-American fighter I would love to see Lomachenko have fought. But then they made Lomachenko the franchise champion. So a dangerous guy like Shakur Stevenson, Olympian. It's a great fight. 2 Olympians, a silver medalist and a 2-time gold medalist. But with Lomachenko coming off a loss, I just don't see Top Rank putting him in there with a Shakur Stevenson. Not to say that Lomachenko has no chance, because Shakur is still young in his journey, so he has stuff to prove. But just if I know anything about how top rank patterns in history and how they've match make, or I guess you could say made the matches in the past, this is highly unlikely, despite Shakur Stevenson clamoring for the fight. That's just my honest opinion. Again, if I'm wrong, I'll be the first to admit it and make a video, and it would be a great fight for boxing, but I don't see it. I don't see it one bit. Lomachenko, he came up mad short. Stevenson looked good, you know, boxing clinic, won every round against Toka Khan Clary, you know. And Shakur looks pretty big too. You know, I could, from his Olympic days to now, he's putting on size. That's him next to Terrence Crawford, a 47-pounder. So he's definitely filling out. The walls are closing in on Lomachenko because at the end of the day, there's a lot of new blood in the division, in or around the division. And at 135, it's like all the fights are tough. Lomachenko could stay at 35. Teofimo already said that he's not going to give him a rematch, but, you know, money talks. So maybe there's that rematch, which is a dangerous fight. Teofimo is a big 35-pounder and already beat you, so he's going to be confident. Nakatani, this is a guy who's like, is the Japanese guy that just beat Felix Verdejo, even gave Teofimo a tough fight. I would love to see Lomachenko versus the Japanese fighter Nakatani. You know, Nakatani's definitely hard to get in range on. He's durable. Felix Verdejo is looking sharp and still got stopped by him. So that's a good fight. That's a difficult fight. We know Lomachenko's probably not going to go to 140 where you got killers like Regis Prograis, Josh Taylor, and also Jose Ramirez. So fights like that, or Pacquiao, he's already said he doesn't want to fight Pacquiao because he's old. So Lomachenko at his current age, what is he going to do? And if you look down, you got a kid named Shakur Stevenson from Newark, New Jersey, who's calling you out. And he looks like the goods. He looks like the future. Then you got Miguel Berchelt, another person who's at 130 and a champion. And this dude is huge, and he's a power puncher, and he's Mexican, and Lomachenko lost to a Mexican fighter. And this is the guy that probably has the closest style to the guy that beat, the first guy to beat Lomachenko, which is Orlando Salido. But I would say he's bigger than Salido and probably a bigger puncher, and his offense is nasty. So it's like, what is Lomachenko going to do? He's kind of like trapped between tough fights at 130 or tough fights at 135, unless they just try to play a safe route and then put Lomachenko in a bunch of fights that nobody wants to see. Look how big he looks. Told you. But he's fighting Oscar Valdez next. That should be a good fight. And, you know, I really don't even know what Lomachenko's going to do. You're getting called out by Shakur. As far as Teofimo's pops, he said that Loma would beat Shakur Stevenson. As I always say on my channel, LSI, let's see it. See, in boxing, it's getting watered down where people rather talk about it than show us. They've sparred together. If you think Shakur's not ready, that's a great fight. That's a hell of a fight for 2021. You know, Lomachenko versus Shakur Stevenson at 130. I'm not mad at that one bit. Two Olympians, two skillful guys. If Shakur wins, he wins. If he loses, he loses. Same thing for Lomachenko. If he wins, he wins. He loses, he loses. But Shakur is putting his bid in, tagging his promoter. Let's see if we can get this. He said, let's do it. You know, so Lomachenko, they're trying to create this escape route for him because he has less than 20 fights, like less than 17 fights, I think. And he has 2 losses. And now they're trying to create this escape route, say, hey, just drop back down and wait, go back down to 130. But you got tough fights there, unless he's going around the Berchelts and Berchelt Valdez winner and avoiding Shakur Stevenson. Then at 135, Devin Haney has been calling out Lomachenko. I'm sure he would still want to take that fight. You got Javier Fortuna. He's a difficult fight in an awkward style. Teofimo already beat Lomachenko. Nakatani, as I mentioned earlier. I don't know, man. I feel like the legend of Lomachenko has kind of run its course. There's a lot of new blood and very, very difficult fights at either 135 or 130. I disagree with Teofimo's pops saying that Lomachenko, I don't know if he said he would easily beat Shakur, but he said he would beat him. I'm not convinced. I'm not convinced that that absolutely would happen. You know, Lomachenko's a solid guy, but coming off of a second loss, who knows? Who knows where his psyche's at? He's older. Shakur, you know, maybe that brings out the best of him being in there with someone. Shakur has talked about their sparring as well, and he didn't say too much, but I can kind of read between the lines and some of what he was saying. He says Lomachenko is there to be countered. So Lomachenko's hittable. I don't know where people get this, that Lomachenko is the Matrix and all that and can't be hit. If you're willing to and you have the experience that would allow for you to be confident and get those shots off, you know, then Lomachenko's there to be hit. But Richard Commey's fighting against the guy that fought Rolly, the Martinez guy. He just signed with Top Rank. So that looks like a Top Rank move to me. Lomachenko versus the winner of that, rather than Nakatani, who just looked amazing, versus Felix Verdejo, rather than Berchelt, who's very dangerous and more similar, as I mentioned earlier, to the style that beat Lomachenko in his second pro fight. And Shakur Stevenson, you know, I could see Lomachenko fighting Comey versus Martinez winner before Shakur Stevenson or one of them other guys. But we'll see if I'm right, if I'm wrong. Drop your thoughts in the comment section. Before I get out of here, use my link to get ESPN Plus. They have a ton of original content for $5.99 a month. They have fights like Lomachenko, Teofimo, if you want to revisit that in all its glory. And you could get it as a standalone app, $5.99, or get the bundle. That's ESPN Plus, Hulu, and Disney Plus. Keep in mind, Disney Plus, they just announced a ton of new shows. The Mandalorian's back, but they got a ton of new shows. You can get that for $12.99 by clicking on my link, and it does help the channel continue to grow. Let me know what you guys think. Will Lomachenko respond to Shakur Stevenson, a guy he's sparred before, calling him out? We shall see. Do you want to see Lomachenko stay at 35 or go back down to 30? And let me know if you agree with this video. As always, hate, comment, and subscribe. Till next video, is Ego signing off. What up, Fight World? It's your boy Ego, and I'm back with some more sports. Get unlimited access to premium content with an ESPN Plus subscription. ESPN Plus offers a variety of content, including specials, behind the scenes, docuseries like Bruce Lee's Be Water, and much more. With an ESPN Plus subscription, you get access to a ton of classic archive fights and replays from boxing and the UFC. Big names like, "Hi, I'm Mike Tyson. Come and watch my fight." Floyd Mayweather, "Easy work. I'm rich." And Manny Pacquiao, "Yes, it's up to my promoter. Just to name a few. If that's not enough, you could get the ESPN bundle, which includes ESPN Plus, Hulu, and Disney Plus. All three apps, one low price. You don't want to miss out. Make sure you guys click that link in the description box of all of my videos. Ego signing off. So if you enjoyed this video and want more content like this on the channel, you can show your appreciation by going to the PayPal donate button or the YouTube support button, and you can donate any amount that you feel is equivalent to the value of this video. Much more to come. Thank you guys for your support. Boxing Ego, the future of boxing.